Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining. My name is Kylie Rhea, and you are listening to the Living the Life of Kylie podcast with your host, Kylie Rhea. I'm presenting to you an eclectic mix podcast, and I am today joined by, begrudgingly, my very wonderful friend, landlord extraordinaire, royal correspondent by moonlight, Jenny Bond. Thank you very much, Jenny Bond. Everyone, it's Jenny Bond. Jenny Bond is here to save the day. Hi, Jen.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm all right.
Oh, you're going to need to move a bit closer, Jenny Bond.
No, I'm not. Why
you need
am
to put this and come. Right. God, you can't. There you go. You can't shine a shit, but you can shine a Jenny Bond. Right, come on, get inwards.
I can't get any closer.
Right. Can you hear them?
Who?
Right, it is a Saturday evening. It is 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Pond o'clock.
And you've just thrown this.
And I threw it on her because I thought, well, when in Romania, do as the Romanians do. So we are going to talk all things.
You. All things Kai.
Okay, all right. Okay.
That's the deal.
Okay. But it's, you know, yeah, but yes.
Yes.
But also with a little, you know, perhaps maybe not so much.
No, that's the only thing we've got to discuss today.
All right. All right. Well, you lead the way then.
No, you start. What's this? What? It's a lot of.
What is the?
What are we allowed to say here?
Well, you are allowed to say anything you want to. You know what's off limits. Did you start this caper, young lady?
Well, what then?
Right. Jenny Bond has been with me from 2018. I moved into your place.
Was it?
Yeah, 2018. So it'll be the fifth year this year.
Bloody hell.
No, that's gone very quick.
That's ridiculous.
So it was just as I was completing on my property. Although there was delays your end, there was delays my end, and it still seemed to work. So it was the July the 1st I moved in here, 2018, and it was just the best thing that could have ever happened.
I feel like this house was kind of meant for you and Arnie.
Really?
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
What, with like the timings and stuff?
Timings. Because I bought it thinking I'd be moving in at some point.
Yeah.
And then obviously for whatever reasons that wasn't possible.
Yeah.
And then you were going through all that shit.
Yeah, and then we nearly had the cast of Can't Pay, We'll Take It Away at the door, trying to evict your last tenant.
He would not go.
He's like, well, I don't have anywhere to go. She's like, what do you mean? You need to go. She's moving in 3 days.
She's literally on her way right now.
Well, I haven't got anywhere to go.
I'm writing lists where you can go here. I gave him a printout. This is available. Can you just leave now?
Can't pay. We will take it away.
That
so
was
get out.
Stressful.
But then it all seemed to work quite well because then things fell through my end and it all worked out. Yeah. So there was someone that wanted the property and then they fell through and then we recompleted again. Well, not recompleted, but we put it on the market for 2 days and it was snapped up again.
Yeah.
So that worked out really well.
It was meant to be.
It was. And, you know, and I've never felt so at home than I have here. But what I will say is I've never also been seen by anyone so much as I have with Jenny Bond. And obviously that's not her real name, but you can all call her Jenny Bond.
Yeah, thank you for that.
No, you're welcome. Because it was actually Jenny Bond who, you know, she'd seen me.
I saw the crazy.
Going off the rails and a bit like walking my dog at 4:30 in the morning.
Literally.
Having a wonderful time. Oh, Pops! Pops! Oh, Pops, come here, darling.
Pops, come here.
Pops!
Come here, Pops.
Oh, it's a wonderful time to be alive right now.
This is what happens when you try and be spontaneous.
I am spontaneous, but I always make it work.
This wasn't in the plans for this evening.
Paper cut. Stop it.
Where's Pops from?
Right, she's here underneath me.
Oh, Pops,
right.
Come on.
What you saw in me is something that no one else had ever seen.
Well, I don't understand that.
But I think it's because Shirley Shells and all the 12s, with her insight to everything. Oh, all right, okay. Well, go on then. Will you complain?
Well, no, because she did help.
Well, she saw it before you blooming did.
No, she did not.
All right,
I went to her and I was like, right, so what's going on over here?
What's her problem? How would you diagnose this one, Mum? So Cheryl's is an occupational
yes,
therapist.
and a mental health specialist.
I don't know
clinician.
why I came under that remit. Personally, I think I was
don't know
absolutely
why
fine.
either. Yeah. Very
don't
normal.
suffer with anything to do with mental anything.
No, but so when was this? This was probably like 2 years ago.
2020.
Was it 2020? Yeah, it wasn't, was it?
It was. I remember being in the kitchen during lockdown and you saying,
Was it
like,
then?
I remember getting the voice note from you and saying, literally, Kai, have you ever thought that perhaps you might be, and I don't really know if I
Off
want to
your
say
nuts.
this. Yeah. Like, you were absolutely 3 sheets of the wind. But when you said that, I literally just went, boom.
Yeah, but it was weird.
And it made so much sense.
Because I was like seeing it, wasn't I, from afar a little bit.
Yeah, but you tried to communicate with friends who you deemed closer to me,
Yes.
and they were just like, well, no, she's all right.
At the time, yeah. Now,
But I probably was all right, but I wasn't all right.
exactly, that was the
Yeah.
thing. Because it was just you, but it was like spiralling a little bit.
Yeah.
And I just thought, because you could have presented, and you were presenting like, you're having a lovely time, I'm so happy. But at the same
So
time,
good to be me. Look how happy I am in the life.
but I remember saying to like mutual friends, like, okay, I don't know if Kai's okay.
She's fine. Leave her alone.
I was like, I know that she's like good time Kai, but actually she's not that all the time.
No.
I don't know. I just thought that's, I don't know. I can't really explain it.
Yeah.
But I just thought, I think she needs someone to let her know that actually,
Can I just let you know you're not all right? All right.
but not even that. I just thought, like, did you have anyone where you could just
No.
be like,
No.
do you know what I mean?
No, I didn't. But I was so used to masking and pretending.
Yeah. You couldn't tell the difference.
But even with my family, I'd mask and pretend.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I because I didn't want anyone to. But then again,
You
I don't know
probably
if I
didn't even
knew how
know.
I felt
No,
myself.
I don't think you really knew, and that's what I was like. Oh, because so I thought.
Oh my god! Don't laugh when you're just about to say that.
Yeah, but you know what I thought? I was like, right, there's something, like, is it bipolar? Is it something? Because it was so extreme. But you know what I mean? Like,
I disagree.
No, you don't.
I don't think there's anything.
And but you were also very good at like making it seem
natural.
natural, yeah. And I was like, this must be exhausting. But I was like, well, I don't know if I can say this.
Yeah, but I'm so glad you did though.
I'm so glad I did.
Because had you not, I still would have been living through that same cycle, day in, day out, day in, day out.
Yeah.
You know, and not being able to maintain any clarity, any focus, any actual solidarity of being. Because I didn't know who the blooming heck I was meant to be.
No, I know, but it's just weird that, like...
You saw it from afar.
Yeah.
I know.
But then, like... But it was so obvious to me, and I didn't understand why no one else... Not obvious, like, oh, she's mental,
Yeah.
but just, like, a little bit.
In not so many words, we can call it that, yes.
No, I just thought she just needs someone to say, look, are you okay?
But it was literally from the minute you said that, my life
I
changed.
know, because I remember your voice note back. It's like, I don't... Like,
It was strange.
Yeah, that was. But then from that point on, we basically not stopped voice noting for a second.
No. Well, that's here's another ADHD moment that I'm going through right now. But it opened up a whole different channel of awareness, and the fact that you can see it made it easier for me to talk to you because you, for some reason, just understood.
Yeah.
And it was very enlightening, and it took a whole load of the burden off my own shoulders, because otherwise, like, a lot of people go through it on their own. They carry all this guilt and all this sort of like, I don't really know if this is how I feel, or should I feel like this, or is this something I need to do? Because you don't know if it is you, or if it's the ADHD you, or if it isn't the ADHD you, it's just you, or maybe you're just a dickhead.
But that's where I think mum, because obviously mum's worked in mental health for years, so you pick things up, you learn about things that she knows about.
Yeah.
And that's where I think it's always helped us, like me and my siblings, because it's like, oh, okay, I recognise some of this. And there's some things that people have these thoughts of, certain conditions and whatever, that's not actually how it is.
But does she talk to you openly about things? Like, does she say, oh, this is, like, this presents in this way? And because you must pick up a lot of...
Yeah.
Because you're so knowledgeable, and it's just...
I think it's just she's very like, we just ask her as well, like, because she'll start saying, oh, this happened, or this happened today at work, and then it just opens the conversation, and then it's just like, it's really interesting. But then also my family are all off their nuts, aren't they?
Well,
that's why it takes
one to know one.
But I actually think that's it. I think that's what it comes down to. Like,
Don't you think you're not classed
Okay.
under the same category? Thank you. My family.
It's true though. They're all mental. So
Yeah,
I was like,
but
well,
it's-
you
but
look
it is-
familiar.
Yeah, I see you and raise you. But it is so fascinating how you are so in tune, and for you to see in me someone that obviously I've known you since I was about
Yeah,
11.
a long time.
Through friends, and obviously I drew on your face at the year 11, you know, Leavers
really
Day
enjoyable.
for yourself there. I don't know what I said. Didn't draw on Nicola. Do you know, she's the only one that I didn't
Didn't
draw
even
on.
go there.
Don't you dare. And I thought, no, I won't,
You
I won't
knew.
ever do that to you. I'm
Go
so
to
sorry
Jet and
about
she
that.
won't. She'll
No,
just
she don't get
yeah.
So because you've always been present in my life from the days of Busted with Soph and Jam,
Busted.
and Hayley, and we went to Lakeside and we did all of this. And for me, when I missed the opportunities to see James from Busted driving past and waving at you,
Can I just say, I didn't ever like Busted.
don't talk to me right now.
Soph, I'm sorry, but I never liked Busted.
Well, why were you there then?
I was
Why
just
did you
trying to
take
be
my
like-
opportunity away from
No,
me to
you-
see James
you-
from Busted? I
no,
didn't
no.
sleep for weeks. Sleeping with the light on.
Oh my God, that song. No,
Don't.
you went the wrong way.
You went.
Who were
the
you
wrong way.
with?
Hayley.
Right, you and Hayley went AWOL, and he came back round to see us. And you
Me. He was trying to find
You
me.
were crying, weren't you?
Might have been.
Well,
I didn't sleep for weeks.
I
I
didn't
was
like Busted.
grieving.
That's my confession.
Oh, get out.
I just had to pretend because you all thought they were amazing. I hated them actually. Anyway,
Don't you anyway this. What do you mean you hated them?
I didn't ever like Busted. I hated.
Did you ever buy their albums?
No, not one.
What is your problem? Why are you being like this to me? Why are you being horrible to me? You're so targeting. This is really triggering right now.
Listen.
No.
I don't think you really liked them.
Sleeping.
You just no. I think you all got a bit carried away with them.
I loved them, and I still do.
No, you
Actually,
don't.
yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Do you love James?
I will
still?
marry him right now if he allowed me to.
Oh my God.
And you won't come and live with us in LA.
No, I won't.
No, I know.
No.
Because you won't be welcome.
No.
Don't you come at me.
I won't.
Trigger me like this, and
I
you
will
know
not.
what you're doing to me, so stop it. Thank you. I've had enough of you and your shit.
Fuck's sake.
Jen,
What?
you've been with me throughout the past 5 years of living here. You know a lot about my dating historicals. The good, the bad, and the oh my Jesus Christ.
I don't know if there is good. Is there? Should we just skip the good, the bad, and the ugly?
I haven't had the best time. There's
Sure.
there's been a few minor.
Bad choices, Kai.
Well, you always know that
choices.
when you wake up in the morning, you get a text from Jen going, "Great decision making, Kai. Really good decision making."
Should we tell everyone why we said no?
What are you talking about?
Right, thank you.
You rein yourself, young lady. Thank you.
Well, were they good decisions though?
I don't think I've ever made a good decision in relation to a relationship.
No, you have.
Ever.
Yeah.
But the worst thing was that when I spoke to my dad the other day, he said, "Well, it's because it's you." What do you mean it's me?
You're too much.
Well, yeah, well, you're just too much. And, you know, that's the reason why people can't stand you.
There you go.
Excuse me? Well, yeah, but once you get your medication, you level out. People start going, "Oh, actually, she's all right." Oh, well, let me just leave myself there. I'll just wait for everyone to decide that I'm actually not so much of a bad person.
but that still won't happen because you're still going to pick absolute.
You said in a text message earlier, I choose people that look dead or homeless.
Half dead.
Dead.
Or homeless.
Sorry, forgive
Right,
me.
but am I wrong? No, you've had a few.
I've had some nice people, but they always end up either crying or starting on Maoris when we travel to New Zealand, or, I mean, good luck to you. I wish you well. Or people that are just
Ridiculous.
ridiculous, or they just turn up with flowers and
Oh, well, that's
everything
awful.
at the minute. It is when you're trying to phase them out.
Right,
They still keep turning up.
Yeah.
You're like, no.
Yeah, but you do pick idiots.
I just
right?
can't deal with it.
But you actually have, since this whole thing in the ADH, you've done very good.
Thank you, Jen.
Haven't you, though? Like, do you
I
know
agree.
what I mean?
I can agree more. Yes, thank you.
Do you even know what I'm talking about?
Pray tell.
That's the end. You've like, what have you done? I'm scared of saying anything that's going to offend anyone.
What are you gonna say? What is it? Because I've just gone. Well, no, goodbye.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's good though. But I think I've always been like that.
Yeah, you have, but for different reasons. I think like you've now got a clearer perspective
Come on,
of
pups.
what actually
Is normal
and
and what is not.
but also what like is healthy for you and what isn't.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Do you know what I
actually,
mean?
yeah. I think I've got an awareness of like if someone comes over at 11:30 at night and they're half cut and they just like, oh, I just want to see you. Before I'd let them in, I'd be like, oh no, I don't really know if I want you around me anymore. Like this is just a bit weird.
Yeah.
Like no. So I think you do start closing in on your own boundaries. I mean, like even yesterday, I got a call at 4:30 in the morning. No,
Did you
you're not.
answer it?
No, I did not.
Good.
Thank you,
work.
thank you, Jen. I thought you'd be
work.
proud of me for that.
Did you text them?
No, I did not.
Right, well done.
Hi, let me take you out. No,
No, absolutely not.
it's 4:30 in the morning. I'm very busy sleeping.
No.
And I'm not going to come back to you with
No.
any response for that. Thank you and good night. But I don't know why it's so difficult to find someone who doesn't love bomb.
Love
Full
bombing.
steam ahead. Oh my God,
Yeah.
we're going to be like
Yeah.
together and I love you. And it's just going to minute and you start going, oh, okay.
Yeah. Selling the dream.
And then you start to go, oh, I don't know if I feel all right about this. It
Yeah,
makes
but
me
you're
feel...
weird because you're like...
Thank you, Jen.
But you know... Right, wait. Because
Oh, but you're
like-
weird. Right.
Because you're very strong with certain things, but then you also won't just tell them.
No, I won't. No,
Do you know
I've
what I
got
mean?
a big issue with that.
You have.
Yeah.
You don't actually tell them.
Assertiveness.
Yes,
But
it
yeah,
is.
if I get in a confrontation with someone,
you'll
I'm
take
like,
them down.
whoa.
Yeah.
But then as soon as I'm like, I don't really know if I feel like I could
Yes.
potentially not even need to do this
Yeah, you don't
right
actually
now.
voice
No.
when you're like, okay, it's like the whole boundaries thing, isn't
But
it?
I think that's masking again because I'm worried that people don't like me.
That is what it is.
I'd rather break up with someone but still be like, okay,
Yeah,
rather than break up with someone going, oh, she's an absolute...
yeah. You want to be like, you almost like want to conform. Like you don't want to say something if you don't think they're going to want to hear it, type thing.
Yeah, but a lot of the time they should fucking hear it. They should effing hear it. They should hear it. Sorry, Dad. So it is a bit like that.
It is.
But I had a situation during lockdown actually. My friend Stacey, you know Stacey, God bless her, Jesus Christ our Lord. I went on a date. I met him on Tinder, and I can't even deal with it. It makes me want to cry because like when tears come out your eyes because you're cringing so much. Not crying.
That's my life, basically.
But you know, well, you can relate.
Okay.
The tears coming out. But for me, he took me out for a few drinks on a pub that was open, but it's like all in like pub garden. It was like table service, lovely. I didn't like the bloke. I just thought, okay, well, I'll meet you now, so we'll just have a nice time.
Just go with it.
We'll just have a nice time, and like, you know, and then good night, thank you very much, goodbye. And the next thing I know,
See, this is what I mean, isn't it?
get myself in a situation.
See?
His ex-wife turns up with all of his children in the car.
With all of his children. I didn't know his children were in the car.
Oh, yeah. And she comes storming over, and he went, right, go. And I was like, excuse me, I got it. So I went running into the pub, hid behind the bar, because obviously no one was allowed inside at the time because it was during lockdown.
Oh, right, okay.
So I hid there, and she come in to find me to tell me a bit about him, and I was like, no, I'm not the enemy. I'm not here. So I just went, I just work here. I don't know. I just work here.
The situation.
I didn't know she was gonna flipping turn out. They were divorced, and she turns
Right,
up.
okay.
Anyway, I had to hide behind the bar and pretend I don't know. I just work here. I'm not here. I don't know what you are. And then he was like, right, okay, give me 5 minutes. So he left me there, disappeared, came back with a suitcase.
Pardon?
suitcase
with clothes, with belongings.
for about a month.
Shit.
Dropped me back here, came in,
Here
wheeled
at your
his
house. Right, this is what I mean. Why didn't you say...
wheeled his
no?
suitcase back into my house.
No, this is what I mean.
Wheeled it in, and I was like,
You're there thinking, what the hell? But you're not saying, no, you're not.
well,
You were in shock.
I just thought, I don't know what I'm.
So he came in with his suitcase, basically.
Yeah, took it upstairs, and I was like that. I thought, oh my god, he's literally moving in.
Oh my god.
He's literally moving in. So then I called Stacey. It's like, I need you to get round here
Yes.
at 7 in the AM. I need you to be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
So she came over, and we were sat here in the lounge and we were watching. He made us watch Ferris Bueller's Big Day Out, or whatever the
This
film
just
is
blows
called.
my mind.
Don't talk to me about blowing your mind. It was horrendous.
Because you said he made us watch this whilst he's
He
moved
did.
into my house
He
the
did.
night before, this stranger.
And he was eating Domino's going,
Why didn't you say get the hell out?
because I was scared. God, I do want to
If I called you and said this situation was going on,
I would have come in, I would
you'd
have
have
dragged
come in
him out.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I did that with my friend Michelle.
Right, there you go.
Her ex-boyfriend was cheating on her. Really awful, horrendous man.
Right.
Like, really awful. He was, like, doing some sort of online dating thing with some Thai girls or something. I don't know.
God's sake.
So, bless her, she texts me. She's like, right, Carl, this is going on. So I turned up at her house.
What did you do?
I was like, get out. Get out. Go on. And she was like, no, yeah, get out, get out. He was like, well, I know all about you. I was like, I know all about you as well. Get out. So
Did you actually do that?
Yeah, I did.
See, that's legend move.
But he was like, well, I've got food in the oven. I was like,
oh my god.
you ain't having the food that's in the oven.
Jesus.
Get out. Get
See?
out.
See what I mean?
So I can do it, but I can't do it,
Can't do it for
in my
yourself.
own sitch.
Why not?
Because it's just too confrontational on my own part. I'm good at sticking up for others and not sticking up for myself.
Exactly.
Unless it's Arnie's dad. In which case, full sim head, many thanks, kind regards. But it is very, very, you do get yourself in some vulnerable
Right,
positions.
can we just not look at me for a minute?
Excuse me, everyone. We are joining a short interlude while Johnny Boyne sorts
Johnny Boy.
sorts out Poppy McGee. Thank you so much. Hello, darling.
There we go. She wanted to come up.
Pops, what do you think of the situation?
Pops
What would
thinks
you
Pops
suggest?
doesn't know what to make of
What
you.
would you suggest? Oh,
But
she does.
She does love you, doesn't she?
I love her too.
Right. So that's amazing that you went and did that.
Oh yeah, no, and then he was like, out, gone, good night, goodbye, God bless.
But
see you
this
later.
guy in your house with his suitcase.
I had to get Stacey, so we were sat here. So she sat one end of the sofa, I sat the other end of the sofa, and essentially I had to get her to call my mobile.
What? While she sat opposite you?
Yeah, so that I could pretend to take a call.
Were you laughing?
No, I was desperately terrified. Going, oh, okay.
Oh, I would have pissed myself if I.
Oh, you're not. Oh, okay. All right, okay. All right, I'm leaving now.
Gotta go. Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
went, do you want me to stay here? No!
Oh my Jesus.
I do not want you to stay here. Leave me.
Right. No.
So then we all left, and my neighbours down the lane were going, and like we all like made the show of leaving the
Yeah,
house.
yeah.
Goodbye. He got in the car, great big Range Rover, compensating, and then off we go. I'm presuming. I don't know. I didn't even. So then obviously went down the lane and pretended to get in Stacey's car. He drove off, and then Karen and Mick were like, "Are you all right?" We're like, "Yeah, we're going back inside." And we ran back up the lane, and we burst into laughter.
I bet
We were
you did.
just. But we couldn't even control ourselves. We were shaking,
Because it's
we were
hysteria,
laughing.
isn't it? It's like, what the hell?
There must be an easier way to get rid of rodents.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, do you know what I mean? He wanted to move into my house.
So if you had said to him, right, I don't actually want you here, were you scared of how he would react?
I didn't even know what to do.
Because that is a thing, isn't it, with women in that situation?
But he
you
said to
don't
me
know.
he hasn't got anywhere else to go. I
don't
He'd been
care.
thrown out of his house.
Not bothered, you're a stranger. This is where you're like too nice.
Yeah, that is true.
Because you're like, oh, bless
Don't
him.
you, any of you, get ideas. This is not a premiere in.
No, this is not.
It's not even a holiday in.
No. It's not even an
It's
inn.
not even a travel lodge. But it was one of the worst situations. But then, a few weeks later,
What?
Tinder. Oh, yeah, I'll go out on that. Okay, I'll come and pick you up. Never again am I ever getting picked up.
No, is that the one? Wait, what?
What, the one that didn't look like he looked like? He came in here and he sat down. And I was like, okay, give me a minute. I'll be back in a minute. went to the fridge, called Lara. It's like, Lara, can you call me? This is an SOS. Like, please, I need you to help me. In the fridge. Came back down. So, how are you? What are you up to? The phone rang. Oh no. And he said the same thing.
What, you want me to wait here?
Do you want me to stay here?
Jesus.
Why would I want you to stay in my house?
I don't know. I don't understand any of this.
But I think Love Island is a real big situation for me right now.
Yeah.
With the whole, you know, I mean, Tinder even. Hello, darling. Hello, baby. Like with Tinder, you can start talking to someone, but they're already talking to 1,001 different people.
Yeah.
So how is that building a foundation of trust and loyalty and respect? When you know that the girl you're talking to is speaking to 1,000 different people, the bloke you're speaking to is probably speaking to about 4. Like, how do you go about that?
Well, it's not the best, is it? It's not...
But then on Love Island, it shows that everyone is replaceable within a second's notice.
Yeah, Love Island. Pops, what are you doing? I feel like the format of Love Island, like I will get hooked on Love Island, don't get me wrong. But I always feel a bit guilty for it because it's like, this is not really that good.
And there's also a lot about it that is actually quite abusive.
It is abuse. Like, I remember, was it last summer? What one was it?
Yeah, who was that one that got thrown out? It was Gemma and Jax.
Oh yeah, Jax.
He actually took himself out of the
He was
situation
awful,
because
though.
yes, he was, but he also acknowledged that and he took himself out of the situation because he recognised.
Yes.
I don't know if the producer said to him, right, okay,
I reckon they did.
give yourself a spin.
Him and Luca, wasn't it? They were.
Oh, Luca, yeah,
being
all of
horrible to
that.
Was it Tash?
Yes, yeah. But I did respect the fact that he took himself out of it and he actually did work on himself.
See, this is where you're better than me because I'm thinking you've been found out and now you're trying to do damage control.
Yeah, but that may well be true though.
Yeah.
That may
Yeah,
well be
that's
true.
true.
But at the same, But at the same time, there is a lot to be said for people that actually do acknowledge their wrongdoing and start going, okay, I am going to work on that.
Yeah.
But it's people that say that and then just
And there's
continue to do
nothing.
everything. As in my personal situation, as you know, that has been going on for 9 years now, it's never getting any better.
not gonna ever
And it's
change.
consistently awful and it's still, you know, financially abusive, emotionally abusive, it has been physically abusive, and, you know, the narcissism and mental abuse is still very present. In a reality show, when it goes on for 6 weeks or however long it's meant to go for, you see that in a condensed amount of time. So for them, as they say, it feels like you've been in here for 3 years. I can actually understand that.
Yeah.
But
that's
it doesn't
what,
excuse it,
No,
you
that's
know?
what worries me because you think people watching that show, so say that Jax or whatever,
Yeah.
that's, to me, seeing that, it's kind of, it's not condoning, but it's like, it just shouldn't be allowed to be shown.
Yeah.
Because then you've got people like who you're dealing with, and you've got young boys or whatever that are seeing that, and it's being normalised, and it is being normalised.
Or girls that get with people like that,
Exactly.
that think, well, that's okay, because
That's
then I
how it
just
is.
pull someone for a chat.
Yeah, have a chat.
Can I pull you for a chat? Here's where my head is at.
We've gone off on a tangent here.
But it is true though,
It is
because I
true.
think it is all very relevant, and I am concerned about the contestants on Love Island because actually not just Love Island, Married at First Sight.
Yeah.
Remember that couple, Marilise and
I remember
whatever his name
you
is.
putting a picture on Facebook of him, so I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this is who it is.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
his face, and I was like, no.
Marilise and I don't know, I can't remember what his name is now, but he was so controlling and very sort of like, I'm talking now.
Yes.
And she just went, okay.
Yeah. See, that
But
shouldn't
then
be allowed.
she said to everyone that she was really happy.
But the trouble is, that's the problem, because it's like, if people are being abused, I know it's a strong word, but just like...
It's not a strong word.
But that's what that's part of it. People think, oh, they hate it, but it's not that simple. It's complex, and they make you believe that it's okay. Like, people that have been abused probably really, really loved that person.
But it was nearing the end of my relationship.
Yeah.
And I raised the fact, and this is what brought us to go to mediation. I raised the fact and I said, I've been doing some research and I truly believe that the way you are conducting yourself towards me is emotional abuse.
Yeah.
But he didn't hear the emotional abuse. He wouldn't read through the documents that I've given him or anything like that. It was just like, poof. And he was like, I can't believe you've used the word abuse. I would never be like that to you. How dare you?
Yeah.
You know, abuse is such a strong word. And I thought, you're focusing on one word.
He's focusing on himself and how that would make him look.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a classic narcissist.
It was
thing.
awful. It was awful, and he would have none of it. So
No,
I had to
I
go
can
to
imagine.
I had to go to the mediation. I had 3 classes with me. You know, dealing with all of my bad things and all of my family growing up and how my family were to me and why I feel like this.
Really?
But then as soon as it was about to click onto his sessions,
Yep.
I don't think we need to go to that anymore.
you
We're
see?
absolutely fine.
See?
And I thought,
Classic.
you're not listening to me. Like you're not. And I know
He was
that
going through the motions,
but
wasn't
he did stay with that counsellor for X amount of time, and I know that, and I do respect that. But for me, nothing has changed whatsoever. And I think that the impact that our relationship has now is because I can see straight through everything, whereas he and his, you know, new life going forward, they can't see through any of that. So it's very much smoke and mirrors. For me to be able to see through that, I'm the Achilles heel for him.
100%.
You know?
Yeah, you see him.
I see him.
That's what they
But
can't cope with.
But I can see everyone on this TV show. I can see everyone on day to
Same.
day.
That's why I've always got the ump.
Yeah.
So, oh my God, idiots everywhere. But the
yeah,
thing
if
is,
someone comes to me and goes, "Oh, let me take you out for a drink,"
exactly.
I'm like,
That's what I'm like, Kai,
"Alright."
what are you doing?
I just think I choose not good people.
But also, have you ever had, and like I don't actually know the answer, but like when you were with him or whatever, has anyone, because you obviously had some gut feeling or something,
Yes.
but has anyone ever said, that's not right, that's abusive?
No.
Because I
I
think,
just find it out myself.
exactly, and I think if you'd have had someone say, you would have been like, boom,
If I'd have had you
we'd have been like, right.
all those years ago,
Get
I would
out.
never have got myself in that situation. And I don't, like I've said before,
No, you
I don't
don't regret it.
my life, but I regret allowing so much to have happened.
But
the
then-
physical abuse, the emotion, the financial abuse. I remember being given 20 quid to get baby powder and milk.
Yeah.
Well, baby powder, Arnie was on this organic, hippo organic, that was 18 quid for a little tub. So then I've got £2 to fill up my car with petrol.
I remember you saying, I remember meeting up with you once in West Malling, and something had gone on, and you were like, you had to ring to ask for money, basically.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
that's
No,
not.
it was
That's not
absolutely
right.
like that. I can't give you any money because you're so
'Cause
rubbish
you-
with money.
yeah.
You frittle it away.
Yeah.
I'm like, you've given me 20 quid to get baby powder and petrol.
Yeah.
But then as soon as I ask for more, well, what have you done with the 20 quid I just gave you? See, that's why I don't give you money, Kai, because
Yeah.
you're so ridiculous with money. But yeah, I helped him make the multi-million-pound business that he's got today.
I know, and but that's why. Like,
And then I'm sat here on Boris Johnson's payroll,
know.
thank you very much, having a wonderful time.
But what you've got to think is that's not your regret. That's his. And I know you'll never have it because he's not got the ability to see or acknowledge.
No.
But actually, that's not your burden.
But I'm
to
just
carry.
concerned that the girl that he's with at the moment is probably going through a very similar
she probably
situation.
is.
And I'm concerned that his extended family now are so blinded to it because he's playing the showman.
Yeah, and that's
You know,
Yeah.
and you know, for me, I'm like, good luck to you. Get on with it. I'm living my life now. I'm not his protector.
no,
from
you
yours.
don't care what he's.
There's nothing to do with me. You go, you know, knock yourself out, enjoy yourself. But I'm telling you now, that is a dangerous situation because she
100%.
doesn't have the character
No, she's not got what you've got.
that
like
I've
the
got
insight.
to actually
Yeah.
acknowledge and
Yeah.
say, I'm not playing this game anymore.
Yeah.
What do you think you're doing?
Yeah.
And that's not to say she's any less of a person. I'm just
No.
saying I don't think she's got it in her to be, actually, this isn't what I want. She's so invested now because he's given her the,
Yeah.
you know, oh, we've got this and
Yeah.
we've got this and we've got this. Like John always used to say to me, oh, we invest in the dream. You know, we can do this and I'm like, oh, I don't really know if I want that.
Yeah, but they sell it to you. It's like the love bombing thing, isn't it?
It really is.
It's all about that.
It
and
is
if
very
someone's
dangerous.
vulnerable in any way,
Yeah.
that's perfect.
It is very dangerous. I mean, she is amazing with Arnie, and I credit Arnie's welfare
To her.
when he's with that side to her.
Yeah.
And I do. I don't have any issues with her at all. I actually think she's quite lovely.
Yeah.
I will have a go when I need to, because I mean, Jesus Christ, I mean, who wouldn't? But do you know what
No,
I'm
I know what you
saying?
mean,
Like,
I know
I
what you mean.
will.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do think that there is a lot to be said for someone that will say, oh, actually, I don't really know if this is what I want. You can come so far into a situation and still step away from it.
100%. But not. That's where actually
They've
you
got no financial bonding or anything like that together.
That's where you did well because although you're with him, how long are you with him in total?
Oh God, 7 years.
7 years. Right, but you got out of that a
Yeah.
lot quicker than a lot of people. I know that it was still a long time to be living like that,
Yeah.
but some people can't get there? Like,
well, we got engaged, and we had a massive fallout that evening. We got engaged because it was the most amazing Dubai setup. We had the most, it was phenomenal. I mean, it was everything that an Instagram model would ever want, right? I ain't an Instagram model, I don't give a shit. But for everything that it was phenomenal. And it was so special. You know, we went like down the dunes, and we came out, and it was just like this like Arabian thing.
Like magical.
But it meant nothing, because when I said to him, when we sat down to eat our dinner, oh God, I tell you what, I'd love to have George, who is my best friend, I'd love to have George involved in some sort of way, like, you know, involved in the bridal party. What's he going to do? He's not going to wear a dress, is he? And I went, wow. I was like, okay. Nah.
Yeah.
No, because in that moment, I saw his insecurity, I saw his vulnerability, I saw his resentment, his guilt, his nastiness.
But you know what else there, though?
Go on.
That's because it was about someone, you've got that protective thing.
Yeah, threatened.
So it was about George. So it was actually like him being like that about George that made you be like, no.
Yeah, of course, because
Rather
I won't.
than you, it was for someone else.
Yeah, I know, of course.
Wasn't it? So that wasn't even for yourself. That was because it was directed at...
I called off my engagement within a minute of being engaged because someone was being horrible to my best friend.
But good on you. But it's because you could see what that meant he must have been as a person as well. Though. You just had to like...
That's blown my mind. But it's also the irony.
Yeah.
Of which you and I know the in-depths of that. The irony of being insecure about a gay man.
Yeah.
The irony is insane. But, I mean, one day, Jenny Bond, you may well sign off on someone that may be well enough suited to moi.
Well, I mean, it's not looking very hopeful at the moment.
It isn't.
No, you could have any bloke.
Someone help me, please.
But you just keep picking these bloody...
But there aren't anyone out there.
Yes, there are.
Look, I need Roman Kemp.
Right, well, go get him then.
How am I going to find Roman Kemp?
Well, I don't know. But you're not going to. What did you say this morning? No, I can't because...
I am going to find him.
Well, yeah, all right. But
I'll wait outside Leicester Square with a banner.
Let's look at your previous view.
No, let's not.
Do they even remotely look like...
But I wish they did.
Oh, Kai.
Oh, Jen.
No, but you'll get there. If you think, right, how far you've come in the last, not even quite 2 years. When we first started voice noting and, like, do you remember the Moulin Rouge?
Don't you talk to me about the Moulin Rouge.
I feel like playing it.
You don't still have it.
I do still
You don't still have it.
Yes, I do.
See, that's the problem with having a landlord as your best friend, because at times you find yourself wanting to share with them the moment of your fun and enjoyment of you listening to the Moulin Rouge soundtrack. My gift is my soul, and this one's for
Well, I
you.
played it to everyone anyway, so there you go.
Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed that.
I did enjoy that.
But I just thought that you would... Oh, I'm going to play it after we finish this. Like that bellowing up the chimney instead of chitty chitty bang bang.
Oh, I did.
Oh, dear, it was, wasn't it?
Oh, dear.
Oh, God. I just like to have fun, and even
are
if I'm on my
very fun.
own. But I think my dream is to meet someone that is on the same level as me.
Good luck with that.
I'm so alone forever.
You're not.
I am.
You're not.
I am. I'm going to be... I think my dad once called me a spinster.
Well,
Like, for the last few years, he went, well, you're a spinster.
that's all right. Just be a spinster.
I don't
for a
live in the
while.
1860s, Dad. I'm not a We just call the word single.
You're going to be fine. You think, right, how much has changed. You've suddenly got ADHD awareness. You're still trying to work out the medication. You're off your nut, basically, all the time.
Daily, that's fine. But at least you're used to that. See, you're used to it. The amount of times I text Jen, it's like 2:30 in the morning. I'm right. Oh, I'm sorting out my sock roll.
I'm cleaning the oven.
Oh,
Like,
I've
what
changed
are
my
you
bed.
doing?
I don't know why I'm doing this.
I've got the pillows in the bath. That one. I was like, what do you mean you've got the pillows in the bath? Well, I've just seen this thing on YouTube. I was like, right, but you're going to need your pillows tonight.
I tried to lug them out of the bath and flop them.
I've looked it out the window with pardon. Like, what is going on?
But don't worry, because I'm just going to hoist them with the broom, like, over my front door.
Yeah.
Yeah. About that. Oh.
That's just mental.
But I get stuff done when I know I need to get it done until the point I don't need it anymore. Oh my God.
No, Kai.
So
good.
what do you see for Kai going forward, Jenny Bond?
No, I think you're on the up.
Do you?
Yeah, defo. I think you have been on the up for like the last 2 years.
I didn't feel it the other night though.
No, you don't feel it every day. But that's what we were saying. Like,
I was having a meltdown about mum and dad leaving for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
If I can't cope with them leaving for 3 weeks, how am I going to cope with them dying?
I knew that's what you were going to say.
Why would I immediately go to the most
That's
drastic?
what you do, innit? It's like you can't watch films.
No, I don't watch films.
Because you can't.
Films do not.
But I don't think that was crazy that you were worried about your mum and dad going.
I just think I just felt very vulnerable.
Yeah, exactly.
And then obviously I got upset about Dad sitting there in the aisle like this, and I have chicken or the beef. Oh, I love the beef, please. Oh, thank you. Just putting that there. He'd move his little bit to be like there.
No, I don't.
And then he'd do this.
Yeah.
And he'd sort it out.
But this is because you're.
It made me want to bawl my eye. I'm literally going to cry right now.
This is what I mean, because you're
can't.
Massively empathetic to everyone.
But my poor dad just sitting there. I'll have the beef. On the bed. He's gone. I just can't stand it. I can't stand it. The emotion just overtakes me.
Overwhelms
and then I just think, well, that's it. That's all I can cope with now.
And then you're gone. Aren't you?
I don't want that anymore, Jen.
No, but...
I don't want it. I can't cope.
You can cope. You do cope. Don't you?
Not willingly.
Not willingly.
Not willing for your nilling. Oh, Jen. Right, so you've seen that I've become better because you're the closest person to me right now in the world.
Right, but you would never, like...
Disagree with everything you're about to say.
No, because you know what I'm going to say, but you were never, like, needing to be better. You weren't actually well. You were, like... You've gone your whole life with ADHD, which actually is probably a lot more of a thing than people realise. Not even knowing you've got it. So then you've got all these battles that you don't even realise. All on your own. Do you know what I mean? I just think there's a lot that you've been kind of dealing with.
It was, honestly, when I the graph, and they're like, okay, so you have got severe.
It's like, cool,
we don't do things by halves in this house.
Broke my bed.
No, we don't do things by halves. Of course, I want to go in or not at all.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, yes, I wasn't well.
Like, you were like, do you know what I mean? Like, to the world.
Masking,
exactly. Exactly that. But then, like, getting the diagnosis and that, because even when you were getting it's like, right, I can't carry on like this. You need, like,
yeah. I remember
like,
having a total breakdown and going, I can't
yeah.
live like this anymore. And
that's what people don't know about you. You've gone into some weird trance right now.
No, I'm sorry.
Come back.
Hyper focus on this. Sorry, please continue.
No, I was just saying, like, people don't know how much of a struggle things have been for you. I don't think.
Well, because it's such an individual thing, and I think that when it is a mental health condition, it is a very individual thing. You don't know how anyone's feeling from one minute to the next, and ADHD is individual because, you know, I'd get mum and dad come in and go, oh, for goodness sake, Kylie, just do your watch. Oh, can you do? Oh, just
yeah.
Before they recognised that it was a real issue, and then I spoke to them about it, and they were like,
yeah, they were like, oh, okay, makes sense.
From that moment, they've been incredible.
Yeah,
they have been absolutely phenomenal. But I've had to go through 34 years of life of battling against them.
Yeah.
You know, of them just thinking that I'm just lazy, messy, forgetful, nonchalant, hyper.
Yeah, all those things that you get labelled with when you're not given the label that you actually, well, you've got ADHD.
Yeah.
That's how people like worry about labels. My sister taught me this with Alfie.
Really?
Who's autistic.
Yes.
And we were always worried, like, but you don't want him to be labelled. It's like, we were so wrong, because as she said, if you're not given the label of what you are, then you're the naughty one, or you're this, you get all these other labels.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? And it's like, well, actually, no, you're right. And I've learnt that just through her and him.
How has he coped with sort of growing throughout that sort of diagnosis?
It's really difficult, because the world is not made for people that function any differently than mainstream. Like, he struggles with school because everything about school is geared up for a certain type of child, not anyone that doesn't quite fit that. So
conforming, timings, restrictions, regulation,
the noise, the people. the routine, even the getting up and having to be there at a certain time, like the whole thing, it makes him ill. He's always feeling ill.
Oh, bless him.
It's the anxiety.
Well, of course, and you know, when I was speaking to Gary, as you've listened as well, speaking to Gary, that physical impact that this anxiety has on you,
that's what it is for him.
It's debilitating.
Because he would present as, I suppose they call it high functioning.
Okay.
But it's because for him it presents in a way, like you say, physically. He's always ringing up saying he's got really bad tummy ache and he's got really bad headache, and they're real physical symptoms, but it's because of the anxiety that he's having to struggle through the day, bless him. But that's because that's the way society is. It's like, well, everyone has to do this routine. But
it's because our generation and the generation before us simply had to do it.
Exactly.
We didn't have any sort of like, I mean, all that we had probably is a gym slip note to say Jenny Bond can't do gymnastics today. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's probably the long and short of what we had. Yeah. There were no excusing, you know, of anything like this. So for us, we're like, well, you just got to go in and do it. You just got to go in and do it. But now, us being aware of the impact that had on us.
Yep.
Am I making sense right now?
That's why you're such a good mum, though, because you have got that awareness of how things have been for you in loads of different areas.
Yeah.
And you make sure that that's not a thing for Arnie. Or you talk to him about, do you know what I mean? Like, you treat him as a human.
I try to. I think that the most recent thing last week was the whole schooling.
Yeah.
You know, I was called twice.
Yeah, but he was alleged for that. I think that needs encouraging.
It was pulled twice. Like, Mummy, can I see you in a minute? And I was like, oh. I was like, yeah, okay. Arnie has been struggling with saying sorry today. I was like, okay, well, what has he done? He shoved a pair of socks into a boy's mouth and wouldn't say sorry. I was like,
well,
were they smelly socks or were they? What sort of socks are we talking about here? So I was like, okay, right, I'll deal with that. And she's like, but he just simply wouldn't apologise. And I thought, if you understand Arnie as a person, if you take the time to understand, he's got a global learning delay.
Yeah.
He is, from my opinion, my not professional but personal opinion, I think he has got ADHD. Yeah. You know, for him to have to deal with that, if someone says to you, right, do it, he goes, no, I'm not doing it.
That's exactly the point.
I'm not doing it. No, I'm not doing it. Yeah. So when I came to the gate, he went, soz.
Did he say soz?
I was like, no, say it properly. Soz. I'm like, no, Arnie, come on, like, please. I'm like, right, you've got to help me out. The next day, we spoke about it. The next day, Mum, can I have a word with you, please? I was like, oh, for God's sake, same thing again.
Yeah, but he's a legend.
But he's like, well, I just don't like her. I just don't like her. I created a poll. I voted. All those in favour who doesn't like Mrs. God knows, say aye.
And they said aye, 95%.
95% said aye.
So his campaign is to get rid of her.
Oh, he's going to be Prime Minister in no time.
I'd vote for him.
I'd vote for him.
I would vote for Arnie.
I would.
Yeah,
but then that's the end.
We need to encourage this guy. We do. Yeah, but he's so kind.
But he's so scared that if it's me that's picking him up, he feels like he can be himself.
Exactly.
If it's anyone else that's picking him up,
he's scared.
He's like, Mummy, who's picking me up tonight?
Yeah.
Mummy, who's picking me up? And I go, well, it's Daddy tonight. He goes, okay. So he knows that he's got to conform to a certain set of skills, behaviour-wise, to make sure he's not going to get in any trouble.
Exactly that. And I just think, like, with adults, if you're struggling in a job, you can try and find another one or another way.
Leave.
But, like, I think of Alfie, like, he's got to deal with that every day for the next however many years.
Yeah.
And it's like, why do we expect kids to deal with that?
But we did.
We did. But now, when they've got, I think it's the internet that's made people have so much more information. Because I think our parents, where would they have got it from?
A thing.
Where would they have got it from? Unless you went to the doctor, which you wouldn't have done.
I've maybe been sent to the house.
The house.
To do extra spellings in year 7.
Oh, you went to the house.
Mate, I can spell.
You can spell.
I had no spelling issues. Like, whatsoever. I swear they confused me with Kaylee. At the end of the rest, it was Kylie, and Carly.
Oh, that's what it was then.
Well, Carly, it was no issues there. No. Kaylee, I don't even know. But me, I was like,
you went to the house.
I know how to spell quiche. This isn't an issue for me. I know Quiche.
That's it.
Well, I was given a little book. I had to go there with PSHE on a Thursday for extra spelling. Me and Owen Down, Mark Balzan.
Oh.
I was fuming. I was the only girl.
Well, yeah. See, but then...
No, well, we've picked up on... Well...
But I think we were quite similar, weren't we, in sixth form especially, because of your, like, impromptu exam as you were a pirate. And then I've forgotten that I'm meant to be in a GCSE. Mum comes bursting in my room. Jen! I'm like, what? Like, you're meant to be in a GCSE.
I'm busy!
No clue. How arrogant to just... You don't... It's not on
Honestly,
your radar that
no.
you've got a GCSE exam.
Well, you're very busy.
Very
Personally,
busy.
I think
I haven't
that...
got time for this
No.
right now, actually.
Don't you come at me bursting into my room, Shells. Respect my boundaries, please. Did you make it?
Kai,
Don't.
I was half dead. Like, I was, like, stumbling to the...
Wasn't it you and Jam at the same time?
No, Jay, this was what's so funny. Right? So I had to sit at the back of the hall with all... I was like an absolute knobhead on my own at the back.
That's a surprise.
I think I was with the sixth form. I don't know. But anyway, so then in A-levels, it was an English exam. And Jay wasn't there. She was late. Oh, yes. And everyone was like, oh, is she okay? And I'm like, she's forgotten. And everyone thought that she was just... Something had happened, and I knew that
And they're like, oh my God, where is she?
Yeah, and
She's
I
asleep.
was like, she's asleep. And then we were sat in the hall getting on with it, and then she comes in like half asleep. I told you. She's forgotten.
Good morning.
Oh, it's so funny.
Do you just look at each other and go,
I was like, yep.
all right,
There we go.
welcome back. Oh, Jenny Bond, we have had some hilarious moments in our lives.
We have.
And you are going to come back and join me.
Why?
You are.
Well, I probably won't have a choice, seeing as...
You're going to get shells on. There's a cat over there.
Oh, this is all about to go quite
Oh
wrong.
my God, right.
Right.
Look at Pops.
Pops. Oh, where is it?
No, I don't know.
She'll
Right, she's
smell
gone.
it.
No, she's gone. Oh my God.
Has it gone?
What's
No,
you,
that's
pussycat?
it. You should...
No, it's
I've
fine.
got deja vu like you wouldn't believe.
No, you're not taking my tablets, are you?
No, I've still got it. Don't
No.
speak. Oh,
No,
she's
just
gonna go
what you
okay.
thinking. Right.
Sugar.
Oh my God.
Right.
Stop. Okay,
Okay, goodbye.
thank you. Right, it's Mayhem here on the front line at Albury Cottage. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Kylie Rhea. You've been listening to the Living the Life of Kylie podcast, an eclectic mix with Jenny Bond Barber and Pops, the little extraordinaire that she is. Thank you very much for joining, and we will listen to this back and be screaming the whole way through while we can't hear ourselves thinking. Thank you very, very much for joining us. Bon voyage!
Bye.